Hello, y'all, and welcome to Life Happens by the Mile, formerly known as I'll Be a Mother Trucker, and this is your favorite mother trucker, Michaela. It is time for the big 1-year review about my first year here at Prime Inc. The ups and downs, and there was both. Let me turn off my truck. Okay, first off, I'm sitting here at Springfield in the middle of a big winter storm. Ugh. Okay, well, I guess where should I start? Back at the beginning. I came to Prime last year in December. Not this past December, December before. And went through PSD. And my PSD experience was interesting. I come in, at first, when you first get to Prime, let's start there. When you first get to Prime, you check into the hotel, which is known as the Campus Inn. And they have all the simulators there and the computer labs. So they ask you to go into the computer lab, fill out a deal on yourself, and then you turn around and you get your room. And they let me do all my computer-based training because it was the holidays and a lot of people hadn't arrived. So I got that out of the way right away. And that's boring, y'all. Boring. But it's easy. And then you turn around the next day and you just talk to a few different people. You sat through some orientation classes. And then they start sending you over to the Millennium. And you come over here to the, our main yard, and you start, you take a tire class and so forth, and then they turn around and send someone in there. Oh, hey, so-and-so, come on out. You got picked, you got a trainer, and this is for your PSD. That's for getting your permit. Not your permit, you come with your permit. That's for getting your license, the instructor that teaches you everything. So anyway, everyone's getting picked, and poor old mother trucker just sitting there, me and a few other children going, are we going to get adopted? Does no one love us? So anyway, Jimmy and Pink finally picked me and another student. I get called back, and there's this little short guy there, and he's wearing all pink shoes, pink everything, and I'm like, I know the story here, which I did not. He has a wife and everything, real sweet guy, and her favorite color is pink, and he's just one of those guys that does anything to please his wife, but I think he likes pink a little bit himself. So anyway, his training method was pretty cool. He taught me a lot, but I can remember, he used to tell, when you're back in the trailer, you got to back into your trailer, and you got to go either right or left with it. Which way do you turn? And I'd be like, we're doing an alley dock and something, and I go, I'd start to turn my wheel one way, and you go, which way does it need to go? And I'm thinking, who you talking about, fool? And he's talking about the end of the trailer, but it would get frustrating. And what the thing is your trailer needs to go right, you turn your steering wheel left. So anyway, he ended up being a really good trainer. I really enjoyed him. He's been helpful throughout the whole year. He calls me up, how's everything going? Blah, 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 blah. And, I tell him how it's all going. And he was pretty awesome. So my PSD was awesome. I finally get my license, and it was elation. I felt so just, Miss Bad Trucker. Thinking I'm all that. So then I got to wait to be adopted by the next person. And within a day or two, I think it was the second day, I get a ring. And they found me a TNT instructor. And I'm like, yes. Oh, shit. Just a second, y'all. I hate this stupid thing sometimes. Just a second. Okay, save. Okay, no. Trailer. Save. Sorry guys, change to sleeper berth, okay. I gotta fix something real quick. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. We left ourselves in on duty for 44 hours that we've been here at Prime. So anyway, I had to fix that. Okay, so I meet my TNT instructor. He's this young kid. I have my bags there, and he tosses them up there, and he goes, okay, come on up, and then we're going to stay the night here at Prime in front of the Millennium. So, you know, it was kind of awkward, but he seemed like a nice enough guy. His name was Terry. So, my TNT time was hell. I mean, the kid was nice. He taught me absolutely nothing. I did not learn how to do the Qualcomm at all. I did not know one macro but a macro 25, and that was for doing high val load, because you have to put in that, you know, what exit you're at, blah, blah, blah. So I learned that, and that was it. Otherwise, I wasn't even allowed to log myself in or log myself out. He also did not teach me how to hook a trailer up, unhook a trailer. He did not teach me how to fuel the truck. I didn't even know how to accept a load. I knew nothing. I got off his truck, knowing nothing. Zip, zilch, zero. I was floored. When I got on my truck, I didn't know what to do. And actually, well, what happened, I didn't go right to a lease truck. I got to back up. I took all my upgrade classes and so forth, and no one checked to see if I knew anything. Nobody. I took my upgrade classes, and I'm looking at trucks, and I'm thinking at that time I'm going to go company for a little bit, and then I'll eventually go lease. But I want to get some experience as company driver. Not knowing how much I did not know. Hello. So, I'm out there looking at trucks and stuff, and then time's going by, and I'm still not being assigned a truck. And I am at, I believe it was there in camp, at the Millennium. And I was eating. No, I was at Fire and Ice, and I was eating. And I was with Kirsty from Trucking Along with Kirsty. And she was buying me dinner. And that's one thing about Kirsty. I know a lot of people hate on her because she hates on lease ops. But that is a very knowledgeable lady. She's a very sweet lady, a very nice lady, and all she wants to do is help people. I think she's kind of skewed on lease ops. It's another story. But I love Kirsty to death. So anyway, we're sitting there eating, and Junior Honduras comes up to me. And he goes, "You're Mother Trucker?" And I said, "Yes, I am." It's shocked, you know, but I don't know who Junior is. And I'm like, "Oh," and he goes, "Oh, I'm Junior Honduras." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like acting like I know who the hell he is. I didn't know who he was. Because before I came, I was watching Kirsty, I was watching Busy Blake, Ross Johnson, but I was not watching Junior Honduras. So he goes, "Can I buy you a drink?" And I'm like, "No." And he didn't even talk to Kirsty, didn't say a word to her, acted like she wasn't even there, which I found kind of rude, but here nor there. Then I look at him up later and find out who Junior Honduras was, and his videos were like watching those computer-based training videos, you know, very, very knowledgeable, very knowledgeable. I'm going to give Junior that. He's a very knowledgeable man, smart, knows his shit when it comes to trucking. So anyway, the next day I'm back out at the lot. They called me to come look at another truck, and I'm looking at it. It's an International, and that's what Kirsty drove, so I was thinking of taking it, but it just wasn't in great shape. And I get a call from Junior Honduras, and he goes, "Hey, where are you? What are you doing?" I'm saying, "I'm fixing to look at a truck." He goes, "Don't sign anything yet. Let me come on over." Because he knew I was going company first. he comes on over and he goes, hey, listen, I want you to come to work for me. You'll drive one of my trucks and I'll pay you more than company would pay you. But what he left, he was paying more per mile, but not more overall. Okay, so I was like, but I didn't know that. I didn't know what I didn't know at this point. And I was like, I don't know. And then he goes, well, my truck's all brand new. It's all set up. And so far, all I've been being shown is pieces of crap. So I go look at his truck, and then I thought, well, why not? He goes, I won't bother you. I'll never call you. You can call me if you need anything, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, you know, because I didn't get into this business to be micromanaged. Well, no, it didn't work like that. I'm on Junior's truck, and of course I'm learning everything I can, and I'm crying constantly because I didn't know how to accept a load. I didn't know what a live load call was. I didn't know any of it. None of it. My trainer taught me nothing. So I also knew a Colorado trucker, and shout out to him because he absolutely was there for me throughout everything. And honest to gosh, between him and mostly just him, I learned how to operate the day-to-day operations of a truck. And he's fixing to be a trainer, and he's going to be a damn good one because he taught me everything over the phone. Literally over the phone. I learned how to operate a truck, fuel a truck, everything from David, Colorado trucker. And Kirsty gave me some pointers too when I needed it, but she was there mostly for moral support as my friend, and she was awesome. So I got a shout out to her for that. So anyway, I learned to drive a truck over the phone, and but Junior would call me up constantly. And if I didn't call him right back, he'd call me, why didn't you call me back? I said, well, I was, you know, in an area where I could call you. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? Yeah, I'm in your truck, but I ain't here to be micromanaged. That dog don't hunt. Okay, I was pissed. And I was just trying to just play it cool. And he just kept constantly. And then he started telling me I couldn't ask Colorado trucker about anything. I couldn't talk to him about anything that goes on with the truck. I couldn't ask Kirsty. Start telling me all these people who are helping me couldn't help me. That dog don't hunt, fool. You are not telling me who I can and can't talk to. Hell no, you're young enough to be my damn son. Don't even go there. So anyway, I decided I'm getting off his damn truck. And I wanted on my dispatcher's dispatch. So I gave Junior plenty of notice. I think I gave him 30 days notice and told him, that's for you, not for me. I'm ready to be off your truck, but I don't want you to be left hanging. And he found someone pretty quick and called in and says, okay, yeah, bring her in. It's all good. So I was fine. But I'm a woman of my word. I don't, So I get in there and I pull in that night, and Junior's like this and his foot on the back of his truck, acting like some kind of gangster. And I'm like, I said, where do you want me to park you? He goes, just get off it. I said, okay, bye-bye. And I'd already been by the hotel and dropped my stuff off. And so I have to go through the upgrading from company to lease. And I do that, and everything there went pretty smooth. And I got on Mary's dispatch, which is my dispatcher. We had a few little bumps in the beginning, but Mary has the patience of a saint. I mean, a saint, because I knew nothing. I was frustrated. I was taking off my frustrations on everybody because I kept wanting to quit. Because the training, my TNT training was awful. PSD was great, but it was on the pad. My TNT training sucked really bad. And I was so ready to quit. Up and downs. I had a few parking lot incidents. I was just ready to quit. I'm glad I didn't. I made real good money as a lease off. I went through a month and a half where I made shit for money because of the parking lot incidents and so forth, getting the truck repaired, stuff like that. Other than that, I made around $2,500 to $3,000 a week. And during this time, I totally out of debt. I don't rent anything. I live on my truck, so I'm able to save a lot of money. I bought 42 acres cash when I had lost everything in COVID. I took care of my son when he got hurt and had to have surgery, supported him for 8 weeks. I was able to do that. He didn't ask for it. I just did it because, he's my son. Been able to help my other son out when he needed it. So, Prime being here has been a blessing. I have been able to accomplish so much from nothing, literally coming to Prime broke. And I mean broke. I owed my sister $1,500 when I came to Prime, and I've been able to pay her off. So everything, all my debts got settled. I'm way ahead of the game. I've invested in other businesses. And this is because I live on my truck. I'm constantly going. I've saved up. Right now, as of now, I got over $20,000 in savings. Along with all the investments I've made in the thousands and buying property outright, 42 acres outright. All since I have been here my first year at Prime. And then I decided, well, I'm going to become a trainer. Because I've learned my job. I know my job well now. And I decided, why not? I want to help other people out to start out and start over. A lot of us are starting over in life at these jobs. So I thought, if I could help someone else change their life, the money you make here is life-changing. Literally life-changing. You go from, I was looking at the scale, we are considered upper middle class, what we do with the money we make here at Prime. That's as a lease op, not as a company driver. I'm not taking no vow of poverty. I'm sorry. And there's nothing wrong with being a company driver. Don't get me wrong. If, some people just aren't cut out to be in business for themselves. Some people are not, they don't have the confidence in themselves. Like, have you ever heard the saying, teachers teach because they cannot do? There's some people that are brilliant when it comes to trucking, but they don't have the confidence to go out on their own. And so they just make up a bunch of excuses why not. But either way, you want to become company, you can do okay, nothing spectacular. You want to go lease, you can make real money. Now this is coming from someone who's driven company and lease. I've done both. So anyone who wants to yap and get in the comments, go ahead. I already know. I've been there. Both sides of it, okay? So, anyway, I digress. So I became an instructor because I want to help people to change their lives. I want to be the instructor I did not have. I had an awful instructor. I mean, he sucked. Totally sucked. And I want to be a different kind of instructor. But unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to only do this probably until September. And then I'm going to have to change companies because we no longer have a lease purchase program. And at my age, I'm looking towards retirement. So I need to own a truck. And I need to get a truck paid off quick because it's like getting an $1,100 a week raise at work because your truck's paid for. So most likely in September, I will jump to another company. But as a starting company, in my overall review of Prime for the first year, it is an awesome company. I think you could do much worse. I think it is the absolute best starter company and company that trains their drivers. Swift is a crap company. CR New England is a crap company. Swift, I've had personal dealings with. My father was a career truck driver, so he actually worked for him at one point. The worst point of his entire trucking career. So I would highly, highly recommend Prime as a good starting company. When they had their lease purchase program, one of the best. And I kind of feel slighted there because I went company first and then went lease, and I was going to buy a truck, but they stuck me they were putting this 6-month lease. This truck I'm in should have been a 6-month lease, and they switched it to a 14-month lease. And then the lady there at Success Leasing, we've never done 6-month leases. And I was like, you're a liar. You're outright lying. Because my friend Nanette, she had just leased the same year truck with less miles than mine, and did a 6-month lease, and so did David. So don't lie to me. That's one thing I hate, is when someone outright lies. But that doesn't reflect on Prime. That just reflects on that one lady at Success Leasing. So anyway, but without being in, and unfortunately, it's going to come back and bite Prime, because a lot of drivers and TNT instructors and PSD instructors are quitting at the end of their leases, because unless Prime changes it back, and they very well may, and in that case it's a different story, because I really do like the company. I think it's an awesome company, but if they don't start letting us buy our trucks again, it's unfortunately, you know, especially people like me that are growing towards retirement, you know, I need the money. I need to save. I need to sock away. I've started all over again. But anyway, another video on that. Please take care. Treat each other with love, kindness, and respect. This does wrap up my year-end review. And my opinion is, yes, Prime is a definite great starter company. I think it should be everyone's first. I think you absolutely should come here instead of going to a school. It's the most awesome program out there. And please take care. Until next time, Mother Trucker out. This is Life Happens by the Mile. Bye-bye.